Most of us come to rely on certain favorite tools for recording and mixing, our own personal go-to processors that we use over and over, like a preferred EQ or a number one guitar or amp. When it comes to compressors, a lot of novice recordists and mixers may fall into the habit of using whatever compressor is included with their favorite DAW. It may be the first one they've used extensively, and it's become the one they know. But there are a lot of different types of compressors out there, with different designs and different circuitry, physical or virtual, and many of them have very distinct compression characteristics. Some excel at heavy compression that doesn't sound particularly compressed. Others are known for imparting a much stronger effect that adds some real oomph to sounds running through them. Often, these distinctive and desirable characteristics are only available when using certain designs or specific models, so once you've got the basics of compression down, it's definitely worth the extra effort to get to know and try the various different flavors of compression available. Most of these so-called character compressors are based on classic analog hardware designs, which are either reissued as hardware or emulated in software via modeling technology as plugins. There are several vintage models with specific circuit designs that are the basis for most of these, but I'll just focus on the three most widely used and emulated types and what they bring to the table. Opto is short for optical. One of the earliest designs, opto compressors, use a light and a photoresistor for threshold detection and to control gain reduction. Opto compressors are smooth by design. You can apply tons of compression without the signal really sounding especially compressed.
I finally come to see who you really are. I finally come to see who you really are.
They're many engineers' go-to comp for vocals, but they're great on almost anything. The mother of all opto compressors is the Teletronics LA2A, reissued as both hardware and software by Universal Audio, and emulated, physically and virtually, by scores of other companies. Like the best opto models, the LA2A has a program-dependent response characteristic. You notice there are only two controls, an input control, which functions as a threshold, and output gain. The ratio and attack and release times vary internally with the incoming signal as a function of the optical circuitry. They change as signal level changes, sort of self-optimizing the response for smooth, artifact-free compression. Attack times tend to be on the slower side, around 10 milliseconds or more, and release times vary with the signal, but are also slow, up to a second or so, with the rate of release varying, again, following the audio. The LA2A utilizes tube circuitry to warm up the signal nicely. The opto circuitry and program-dependent response is the secret ingredient of the LA2A, and other optos, smooth sound. In fact, it's almost impossible to get a bad sound out of a good opto compressor, making this design a great choice, even for compression newbies. But sometimes you want a noticeably compressed sound, as an effect, to lend some real push to tracks and instruments. Well, FET, or FET compressors, are known for providing that kind of aggressive, in-your-face quality. FET stands for Field Effect Transistor. This is an early type of transistor circuit that offers a lightning-fast response when used for compression, and when driven hard, the FET circuitry adds a nice edge to the audio. The dean of FET designs is the URI 1176, also available as both hardware reissue and physical and virtual emulations by the dozens. It's most famous as a drum compressor, thanks to its ability to fatten up drums with a big sound. It's equally good on vocals, acoustic guitars, basses, anything that might benefit from a more dramatically compressed quality. The 1176 and its many clones has a fuller set of controls, as you can see. There are 4 discrete ratio choices, and a unique design feature of the original, included in most emulations, is the option to push in all 4 ratio buttons at once. This is called All Buttons mode, and it changes the normal 1176 response a bit, altering the character. All Buttons mode is especially popular on drums, where it allows for an even more explosive compression characteristic. The 1176 and other FET models are a good choice when aggressive compression and a little edge is called for. A later design than the previous two, VCA compression circuitry is the basis for most standard modern compressors. A VCA is a voltage-controlled amplifier. When the signal crosses threshold, the VCA quickly clamps down cleanly on the audio, making this design a good choice when you need to really keep levels in check. The VCA compressor's fast response has made it the choice for many situations, like drums or a bass with strong transients. But again, this is a versatile design that adapts well to all kinds of signals and compression needs. The DBX 160 led the way, and it's widely used and widely cloned nowadays. Another famous example of this compressor type is the SSL bus compressor and its many clones. The original was strapped across the stereo mix bus on vintage 4000 series SSL consoles. All of these so-called character compressors offer a sound quality and response that you may just not be able to get with the stock DAW model. But the compression characteristics they bring to the table are, and have been for many years, a big part of the sound of hundreds of classic recordings and mixes. So don't entirely abandon that favorite channel strip comp, but do try out some of these classic designs and models. Once you hear what they have to offer, you'll be hooked.